Alright people, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you'll know when I upload the next video and you'll be supporting my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Every time I upload a new video, I'll be tweeting. Original Reacts, and this is Ruining Your Favorite Animals Part 2 by the channel Geographic. If I have to know this, so do you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and drink water and hug your mother and say goodbye to your life because one of these animals is going to kill you. Or let's watch this one.
You think, why do you know that? This fact is actually one of my favorites because it never fails to freak people out. The blue whale can produce 400 gallons of baby maker, but only 10% of it makes it to the female. 360 gallons, which is like 9 bathtubs worth, gets unloaded into the ocean. See, now I have to ask, why do we know this? How do we know this? Like, did someone get paid to eyeball it from a respectful...
Oh my god, why did I take a second to process what that means? I know, being a, scientifically literate, I know the volume of ocean and how many whales are there, it doesn't matter. But still, just that much gallon of water gets dumped into the... That much gallon of things get dumped into the water, I guess. That's just... I don't know. Every time I see ocean, I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Where's the boat? I'm not touching that water.
Distance? Or did someone actually have to get lost in a Big Mac sauce in the name of science? 4 years of marine biology and that's what it amounts to. Couldn't be me. I would also like to personally flip off the entire internet for this last fact. Because apparently a blue whale's backdoor fudge factory can stretch to 3.5 feet. 3.5 feet. You know the average lifespan of an American is 78 years? That's about 2,460,000,000 seconds, and I could have lived through every single one without knowing that whales possess a 42-inch anus. I shouldn't know that whales have a 42-inch anus. I also shouldn't know that a blue whale's fart bubble can hold an entire horse, but you know what? I know it, you know it, and your friends are going to know it because you're going to share this video. I'm not suffering alone anymore. Some facts that we honestly shouldn't know. A humanzee is the godforsaken love child of a chimp and a horrendously down bad human. Obviously they don't exist, but serious attempts were made.
Yeah, I was just gonna pause to say what the fuck, but before I could even finish, he just said it's not real. I'm like, that's clear. That's the best thing about Casual Geography. He talks way too fast before you you just react and you just realize, oh wait a minute, it's not real. Humans is a hypothetical hybrid. Let's hope it's just that. Chimpanzee and humans. Serious attempts to create such a hybrid. Don't mess with hybridization with humans. Man, this is going into the ethical dilemma. There will be massive issues if people do this shit. The portmanteau word humanzee for a human-chimpanzee hybrid appears to have entered usage in 1980s. We should forget a lot of ideas from 1980s, let's just say that. No, fuck that.
What the f does that mean? That sentence feels illegal. How you wake up and decide to disrespect the Lord and call it science is beyond me. A pair of lions will do the deed every 20 to 30 minutes for up to 50 times a day. Who sat there with a clipboard and spent 24 hours of their existence watching Simba and Nala make a different kind of movie? But what really bothers me is the every 20 to 30 minutes part. That felt too accurate to be a guess. Like somebody actively sat there and watched.
Yeah,
and they probably did it multiple times to get the average. Look what a check make people do.
Oh, they're going for it. They're going for it again.
Horse Suscrofa produces the most baby batter of any animal, and with 50 billion little swimmers, it's 100 times more than any human. And just like the boar's middle name, the fact that we have those numbers is supremely suspect. Like I said, science is too much about what we can know and not enough about what we should know. And we shouldn't know this. And now I know this, so what's wrong with me? And now you know it, so what's wrong with you? Send this to your friends and let them deal with it too. Here are some facts that'll make you think, wait, why do we know this? The average pig orgasm lasts half an hour, but it can also go on for 90 minutes. And I feel like now I have more questions than answers. Cause like, what has to go wrong in life for you to watch Porky Pig get off for the length of a kid's movie and then call it science? How do we know this? Why do we know this? Also, this is the kind of information you can never give Twitter. Because I saw a girl comment, wow, I wish I was a pig. And some guy who literally could have said nothing replied, you got the look, go for it, champ. I didn't smell bacon, but she got fried. A raccoon can squeeze into holes as tight as 4 inches. Your back door can stretch to 7 inches before taking damage. Now, alone, these two facts are questionable. But when you put these two facts back to back, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, but why are you thinking about it like that, man? Why did you put these two facts together? It's more questionable about you, man. I'm worried about you. What the fuck? Look at that face, and that's what the first thing you thought about? Yeah, human anus stretches for 7 inches.
There's really no ethical reason for this information to exist. I feel like science should be less about what we can know and more about what we should know. Oh, for the love of LeBron, do not let Mike Cakes find out about
Yeah, the alarms went in my head as soon as he said that, being a scientific guy. The problem with that is we can't know what we should know, right? That's what we call, I guess, the range of, unknown, I guess. Range of a frontier. If we just, chase something that we should know, we will never know what we want to know, but we right now don't know. I don't know how else to say that. I mean, pretty weird discoveries, I guess, eventually leads to something that is just great for humanity. I mean, I guess 50 years ago, we wouldn't have realized that there's lots of things that we are using today and taking for granted. We needed that. And without them, we can't even, I guess, go through a day now, right? So, I don't know. Yeah. People were bitching about 120 years or so ago that why do we care about atom? And people said, why should we spend tax dollar researching atom? Who gives a fuck about that? Only you knuckleheads. Now, without researching of atom, nothing, 99% of things that you take for granted nowadays that makes the modern world modern wouldn't have existed without it.
About this. I could really see him reading this fact and being like, "Can I help you, sir?" Grab me that raccoon. But sir, it's a raccoon. No, grab me that raccoon. Here are some why the fuck we know that facts. Okay, this one messed me up. Apparently a group of pigs can completely eat a 200-pound human corpse in 8 minutes. Excuse me, nani? I don't know who came up with that number, but they need to be put on a watch list. He didn't say 5 or 10 minutes. He said 8, and that was way too specific for me to believe that some guy didn't feed his ops to a gang of porkies. Go ahead and Google how long it takes a pig to eat a human. Too many sources say 8 minutes for me not to think that somebody pulled a Carol Baskin with pigs. And now I can't trust them. An elephant
which is the fucking hell? Which is that TV show with Timothy Oliphant? Wood, something with the wood. Deadwood? Yeah, Deadwood. In that's a fucking awesome TV show, right? I watched it a long time ago. I still love it. In that, obviously, there's a thing that they get rid of the body by feeding them to a pig. It's obviously, there have been cases in the past where certain bad people have done that. So I guess somebody just knew it and just documented it, I guess. I don't know.
Trouser snake can grow to 40 inches. It's also prehensile and strong enough to grab and throw a grown man to the ground. That last fact felt personal. Imagine studying elephants in Africa for 6 months and you tell your supervisor that's what you learned. He's gonna ask you how you know that, and the silence that follows will be deafening. There's a story there and I do not like it. Horses will pleasure themselves by slapping their horse hose.
If I were the supervisor, silence would never stop, because I would say, you have to tell me before we move on. There is no way anybody's moving anywhere before you tell me. How would you know that shit?
On their bellies. The process is quick, as it takes 3 to 4 slaps for the horse to arrive. There is literally no ethical reason for any human being to know that much about a horse, and my search history has never been more tainted. Yeah, I know, I heard it when I said it. Someone had the audacity to say I couldn't possibly ruin seals, so my response is, did you know seals have really bad eyesight? Because a normal person might see a penguin, but all seals see is a black and white fleshlight with feathers on it. Viewer discretion is very much advised.
Flashlight. I just got it. The ad came out in a really wrong time, but flashlight.
You know, sometimes I wish I didn't know the things that I know. They do this because they're not strong enough to get seal females of their own, so they violate penguins for it. Sometimes they'll let the penguin go when they're finished, but usually they just eat them afterwards. Also, I don't know if this even matters at this point, but that penguin turned out to be a male. Also, male seals will straight up delete any babies they see. The females aren't any better because they'll kidnap seal pups. Sometimes they'll steal them as soon as they're born. And some steal them while they're being born. I literally saw a video of a seal snatching a child and pulling it out of its mother's body. Yeah, seals are problematic. Also, the harp seal is a good mother.
Oh, isn't that cute? They are fucking horrifying. They're psychotic. Hyenas looks much better right now. Every time I hear about certain animal, they're real cute and cuddly, but do that shit to their kids. I'm like, look at those vicious hyenas. That looks like, basically they, kill certain animals every day, at least 5 animals a day, just by their looks. And yet they care about their baby more than, I guess, these things right here. These cute but fucked up things.
For about 12 days, and then she'll abandon the baby even though it can't swim or feed itself for the next 8 weeks. So the seal pup has to sit there for weeks and try not to get murked by a polar bear or starvation. Moral of the story, unless it's singing Kissed by a Rose, seals are menaces to penguins and each other. Here's every messed up fact about wolves.
How are seals surviving then, if that's how bad the babies have? How are the seals surviving as a species? Because that way, I don't even know how babies survive.
You can thank this comment for it. First of all, no matter how big you think wolves are, they're always much, much, much bigger. Wolves are low-key furry gangbangers. When one wolf pack pulls up on another, names get taken off the census. They'll raid smaller packs, delete them, and then steal any pups they find and raise them as their own. That was a lie, they abort every single one. Wolves will also cannibalize each other. Researchers actually found them eating members of their own pack that got clapped by other wolves or disease. And since a wolf pack is an extended family, they were basically eating their own dead cousin. Do you want to know what the #1 cause of wolf deaths in Yellowstone is? It's literally other wolves. Their teeth are strong enough to snap your arm, and unlike cats, they don't kill their prey before they eat them. So they just tear them apart while they're still alive. Lucky for us, wolves are afraid of people and they'll almost never attack humans. But when we breed them with dogs, that's when it gets crucial. Wolf dogs are much more aggressive and they actually will step to people. And if you try to come at him with a rolled up newspaper, he'll just put your face on one. Also, female wolves will cheat on their mate with members from other packs. The only reason she gets caught is wolves get stuck together in the process. And now you know. You just challenged me? You asked, but...
Wouldn't you though, after all that shit, knowing your weaknesses, wouldn't you be that? I mean, you're the fastest land animal, but what you gonna do with that speed? Any average animal comes in and slaps you in the head and take your food away. That's what's happening to cheetah, right? I mean, anybody looks at cheetah, oh fucking look at that, it's like leopard, it's like jaguar, it's like tiger. No, it's not. No, it's just not, right? I got surprised when I read to Tears' video and known that. Because I don't know, I was never an expert on this big cats, but I always had this, assumption that any big cats that looks like that is probably going to be dangerous. It's just relatively how dangerous they are, but they would be fucking dangerous. Apparently not. Cheetahs suck.
At least they're fast, right? So fast that they actually speed run through life. Because most of the cheetahs that enter the world will be off the census after one trip around the sun. Cheetahs are cats that are just not really good at being cats. Unless it's a bird call contest or a 100-meter dash, they get clapped every time. Don't dare me to ruin animals because I will do it with no hesitation. I don't care whose feelings are hurt. The water bear is easily the most overrated animal ever. They just do life wrong. Because yes, they can survive the heat, they can survive the cold, they can survive crushing pressure, they can survive Superman's radioactive piss, and yes, they can survive in space. But somehow this water puppy gets clapped by nematodes. As in the same dudes that put SpongeBob on the streets. Water bears can survive anything except the things that matter, and that includes each other. Yeah, these moss pigs are cannibals. How are you gonna survive a whole nuclear war just to get murked by your neighbor? Oh, and for an animal that can live in space, most won't even survive one trip around the sun. Oh, and they have one more weakness. Extreme heat will eventually put them on a shirt too. The water bear can hibernate for 120 years, but the moment they wake up, they're right back on the clock. Y'all overrated this thing so much when it's really just a meme you need a microscope to see. How are you going to be able to survive everything except the things that are actually trying to kill you? Yeah, nuclear war, the void of space, they're prepared for, but a nematode, they got no answer for. They got no armor, no weapons, no bag at all. Just 8 legs and vibes. And superpowers are as useful as a lifeguard at the Olympics.
There are certain things, certain living organisms that basically are more resistant to radiation and things like that than your, normal things that you think of on the planet. That basically gives the scientists that idea that certain life could have, I guess, come from the, some other planet. And this is just a result of it. That, they travel through space a lot. That, the resistance they created was more of from the space than on the actual land on the Earth. So it could be something like that, but yeah.
I really hope Tearzu sees this so he can agree that they're in the lowest possible tier. Oh, you want me to ruin rabbits? I don't know why y'all keep asking for this, but bet.
Wait a minute, what did he say?
And superpowers are as useful as a lifeguard at the Olympics. I really hope Tearzu sees this so he can agree that they're in the lowest possible tier.
Yeah, he did. I remember that he did. He did say that, the tardigrades, this water bear sucks. Right, he did say that in one of the videos. So apparently they think alike.
Oh, you want me to ruin rabbits? I don't know why y'all keep asking for this, but bet. In the 1700s, a woman named Mary Toft caused controversy because she claimed to have given birth to rabbits. It all started when she got pregnant and miscarried and claimed that a bunch of rabbit parts came out of her body. A doctor named John Howard had investigated and confirmed that he had delivered several pieces of rabbit flesh from Mrs. Toft. This freaked people out, with some people thinking she was a rabbit-human hybrid and others thinking she got piped by a Bugs Bunny. This story went as viral as something could go in the 1700s, and it got the attention of the royal surgeon for King George. They personally examined her, and when pressure came, she folded. She had lied about the whole thing. But it's not just that she lied. She had several dead rabbits stuffed inside of her to make it believable. I don't know how many rabbits she used, but it was more than 10. Cameras weren't even invented back then, but she still somehow got caught in the 4K. She was imprisoned for fraud, and every surgeon that had observed her and lied about it got their careers ruined. Yeah, they got big canceled. And the rabbits, well, they didn't live to see justice. And what is true in 2021 was true back then. Hell hath no stupidity like a cloud chaser. Now, I would like you to remember that every time you see a rabbit. Here's a fun fact to ruin
Oh, that's just horrifying. I don't even know what to say to that. Fuck.
your day. Almost every deep-sea monster story you've ever heard was really about a whale's penis. Sailors would be out at sea and witness a pink fleshy tentacle that looked like it either belonged to a sea monster or this bastard. But the truth is, whales are like good comedy. They come in threes. So while one male is busy with the female, the other will pop its penis out of the water while waiting for his turn. Sailors would see this and freak out and then brag to everyone back home that they encountered a sea monster and survived. What they really saw was a whale freeing his willy.
Then it is a sea monster, isn't it? Technically, it is a sea monster.
Thought they pulled up on a sea serpent when it was really a whale's trouser snake. Moral of the story, Moby's dick somehow got more clout than Moby himself. Just one of the many ways nature memed us.
Yeah, now we know. Why do we know? Why the fuck did I listen to this? I don't know. Certain things were funny, some of them were like horrifying, but not that much considering how some of the videos that reacted from this channel were point blank, just horror show. This was at least not that. So yeah. Alright, well, that was ruining your favorite animals part 2 by Casual Geographic. I think I did the part 1, right? I don't know how to see that. Alright, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the reaction, there's a link in the description, check out the cards, so place the cards, and yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet every time I upload reaction video because you might not get a notification for most of them. So yeah, I'll see you next time.